It's the 1962 Jaguar Mark II we're looking at. Going to start underneath here in the engine area, as well as the front suspension. With regards to the front suspension, we're seeing boots torn open, some missing. This is the right front, the lower ball joint. This is the upper. You can see the gator or boot is just missing. Similarly, tie rod ends, boots are torn. This joint here actually has some play in it. It's a tie rod joint. The arm merits replacement. Same thing going on the left hand side. You have gaiters or boots torn, missing. They merit replacement. You can see here, inner tie rod. Although the joint has no play, the boot was for sure torn. Got a power steering box here. It's leaking. You see that fresh, clean trail there. Very indicative of the fluid just leaking out pretty actively, kind of cleaning a trail as it drips down. You see some of it there. Coming forward, the oil pan and some points higher up are leaking. What we would recommend for sure, some of the leaks are obvious, some of them not so. We would recommend cleaning the engine and transmission area thoroughly, and then we would take it for a road test and see where those leaks really appear to be emanating from, go from there. One of the more obvious ones, again, is going to be this rear main seal. You're looking up in between the transmission and the bell housing, the bell housing of the transmission and the engine. That's the back of the flywheel there. You see oil accumulating here. Again, that's a pretty notable leak. Transmission area as well. It's got some active leaks here. Be best to do the cleaning process and really see where they're coming from. It could be just one or two seals. So we come back here, got the drive shaft. We have some play in these U-joints. I'm sure you can hear that. Yeah, that really shouldn't be there. The pinion seal here is leaking. With regards to the pinion seal in the rear diff itself, as driving down the road on the deceleration, there is really a loud groaning or moaning coming from it, and it really merits further diagnosis. The entire rear end is shifted to the right a little. If we look at this aspect here where the tire is just kind of touching the skirt, that's on the right side. When we look on the left side here, you see there's a fair gap there. There is an arm here that allows for adjusting that, okay? We can see that these bushings are torn pretty badly and deteriorated. So we need to diagnose exactly what's going on with that differential making that noise, obviously, and get this all in alignment for you. With regards to the rear end as well, if you can hear this and see it, that's actually play in the bearing itself for the wheel. It exists on both sides. The axle seals are leaking, likely as a result of that bearing play. Both sides. The play is enough that it's actually allowing the brake rotors to touch the brake calipers. It's making that little witness mark you see here on the rotor. If I see that gap change. I'm going to lower the car here and continue the video with what we're finding up top. Okay, as we continue up top here, as I showed you previously, the lower radiator hose as well here. You have some cuts and just a brittle, hard feeling to the hoses. And that exists on really not only the radiator hoses, some of the smaller heater hoses. This is heater control valve here, and this is operated by those cables and rods that come through the firewall. That little lever in your car that has the broken knob, if you will, and it's very difficult to operate. This is the valve that's functioning, and it's not moving quite freely. We need to get the cable out, as well as just disconnect this and get it moving freely. It does move, it's not seized, so I think with some work we can make it move and function more freely. And as well, here's another hose immediately connected to that that as well is just deteriorated. You can see it's all dry rotted and cracking. As we go back, just looking at the body, I was also noting that there's just some areas of the body. This is the bottom of the driver's front door, front corner. There's some cracks here and there in the bodywork. Some alignment. You see the driver's door versus the driver's rear door. These little cracks in the paint. And there's some chips here and there. Have some rust in it. So I'm coming back. I wanted to show you that. Looking down in this fuel fill, someone at some point has tried to seal this fuel tank. And although I don't see any leakage, there is a dent on the bottom where it looks like someone at some point tried to jack the car up and maybe got it. But you can see the sealant is actually peeling off. For sure the car has a fuel filter and would ideally catch that debris. I would recommend that we consider resealing the tank.